Alright, I'm at the Dismal Notch Rest Area, which is on the Washington side of the Columbia River. Decided to come over here because I wanted to drive across the Astoria Bridge, which will be coming into view here. In general, when the Columbia River is going in an east-west direction, I'm going to stay on the Oregon side. I may pop over onto the Washington side occasionally. So for this video, I'm going to focus on the remaining portions of the lower Columbia River, which I haven't gotten to yet. The lower Columbia River stretches from the Pacific Ocean to roughly the Portland area. So here we go on the lower Columbia River. Alright, the first stop that I'm making is near the east end of Astoria. It's the end of the Astoria River Trail. So I'm going to walk on this a little bit and then we'll head to the first chunk of the Clatsop State Forest. So I tried to go to several spots in the Clatsop State Forest. Unfortunately, several roads were closed, so I started driving around the countryside here. Alright, after driving around for quite some time, I came across this Aldridge Point boat ramp. There's very little information about it. Could be state, could be county, I'm not entirely sure. All it has is a small beach area and a boat ramp, but I'm going to continue driving around. Alright, I'm just up the road from the Aldridge boat ramp and I finally made it to a spot where I can access the Clatsop State Forest. I'm at the Nat campground and there's also a trailhead here. So I'm going to go up and explore the campground for a little bit and then I'll hike a little bit on the trail. This is Nat Creek. Alright, I'm starting out on the Nat Creek Trail and I've already managed to burn through quite a bit of the day. Every stop that I made has been a good chunk of time, and then there was a few stops that I made where I didn't even film, so I'm not going to go too far on this. It's I think 4.5 miles all the way out to Bigfoot Creek. Probably do about 10 to 15 minutes out, 10 to 15 minutes back, so there you go. Alright, I'm almost back to the trailhead, and this was a nice little hike. Some really nice vegetation. I'm going to continue to explore the Clatsop State Forest and also look for a spot to camp tonight. Over here they only allow tent camping because they've had a lot of vandalism. But unless something extraordinary happens tonight, it's going to be a wrap for filming. Whatever I find tonight, I'll fill you in the morning. But It's going to be a wrap for day one on the lower Columbia River. Well, good morning. I'm back in the Clatsop State Forest, and I found this nice designated campsite. It's not too far from one of the off-road vehicle staging areas, so we'll go check that out in a moment. I haven't seen a lot of hiking trails in the state forest, so I'm going to end up going down this way and hiking on some of the service roads. All right, I'm at the Shingle Hill off-road vehicle staging area. It's a day only area. So I'm going to look around a little bit and then I'll backtrack to the Nat Fish Hatchery. All right, I'm at the Nat Creek Fish Hatchery, and it looks like some of these basins are currently going maintenance. This fish hatchery releases 900,000 Chinook salmon and 40,000 steelhead. Now, they don't all start growing here. Some of them are actually transferred from other fish hatcheries. All right, they got this little nature trail here at the fishery, and it leads to waterfalls. I think that if you take this trail far enough, it'll connect in with the Nat Creek Trail. This is the waterfall on the nature trail. After looking at this for a while, I continued on the nature trail to the Nat Creek Trail. As I continued to hike up the nature trail, I came across a structure which looks like a fish ladder. All right, I'm almost back to the fish hatchery, and I'm gonna head out, go to a place called Westport, Oregon. I think there's a ferry there that crosses the Columbia River, so we'll check that out. All right, I'm at the ferry terminal near Westport, and I managed to catch the ferry pulling away. It's just maybe a 10 to 15 car ferry, and I think it's operated by one of the counties in Washington. As I was leaving Westport, I came across this county park, and it looks like they either just built it or they've spent a lot of money rebuilding it. This county park sits on the Westport Slough, and we're looking up towards the ferry terminal. They have a nice kayak launch point here at the park. Alright, I'm leaving Westport, Oregon, heading east on Highway 30. I wasn't entirely too sure where I was going to end up. I was honestly just going to start driving until I saw some sign for an attraction. Otherwise, I was just going to drive all the way to Rainier, Oregon. This is Jones Beach, just outside of Westport, Oregon. It's pretty primitive, and my guess is it doesn't get a lot of use. So I'm going to break the lower Columbia River up into two parts. It's going to wrap up the first part. Next part, we're going to do Rainier, St. Helens, and a few other spots. So I want to thank you for watching.